Debt, in its various forms, has become an inseparable and ubiquitous part of our modern lives. It permeates our societies across the globe, affecting individuals from all walks of life, from student loans and mortgages to credit card debts. This concept has ingrained itself deeply into our financial systems. Many argue that without taking on debt, daily life would become exceedingly challenging. However, it is worth pondering how Islam perceives this phenomenon and the principles and guidelines set forth by our faith regarding borrowing and lending. So today, my group 9, we will embark upon a crucial topic, which is the significance and role of debt in Islam.
I will then explain the rich history and background of the Islamic economy, which dates back to the 7th century AD, when the Prophet Muhammad created Islam in Arabia. The roots of the Islamic economy are the Qur'an and the Sunnah, which provide important guidelines for Muslims in their economic practices, with halal and charity being the core principles of the Islamic economy. Halal means lawfulness and legitimacy and is a moral code for business activities and economic behavior. Charity is a virtue encouraged by Islam that encourages people to care for the weak, the poor, and the welfare of society. Islam encourages people to constantly pursue knowledge and labor and considers wealth a blessing, but at the same time it also teaches that people should be prudent in dealing with wealth and avoiding extravagance and wastefulness. The Islamic economy in the early days was mainly based on trade. Ancient Arab merchants brought goods to the east and west, promoting the exchange of civilizations and prosperity. Ancient Arab merchants brought goods to the east and west, promoting the exchange and prosperity of civilizations. The subsequent further expansion of the Islamic economy made it one of the largest in the world. The golden age of Islamic civilization contributed greatly to the prosperity of science, mathematics, literature, and art. During this period, the Islamic economy also developed further, establishing advanced financial systems such as bills of exchange, shareholding, and banking. Today, the Islamic economy plays an important role globally. The Islamic financial system is in line with the Islamic Sharia, and it has gradually become an important financial system worldwide. The Islamic economy is not only focusing on economic development and emphasizing equity and social responsibility through charitable giving and social welfare, the Islamic economy is committed to building a more harmonious and inclusive society. The Islamic economy has a rich and colorful background, which is imbued with deep religious beliefs and ethical norms that promote halalism and charity, and emphasize social equity and responsibility.
Debt has become one of the normal activities in society economic life nowadays. A person does not always have enough money to meet his needs, and hence they will borrow from others. At the macro level, having debt to finance the development is also a common practice. It is very difficult to find a country that has no debt. The budget deficit causes the government to seek external sources of funds to finance domestic development needs. On the other hand, debt has also become a global phenomenon and is used by various countries and also multinational companies for business expansion. Dying in Islamic jurisprudence refer to debt, financial liability, or monetary obligation. This definition includes all assets, including intangible assets such as property right and music royalties. The Prophet Mohamed ﷺ discouraged the practice of debt. To continue, he said the soul of the believer is held hostage by his debt in his grave until it is paid off, narrated by Al-Tirmizi. In another hadith, the Prophet said, "Your companion is being detained by his debt." Sunan Abi Dawud. This hadith proves that debt is not prohibited in Islam. Islamic teaching advocate protection of the poor and the vulnerable against economic exploitation. Muslims are not allowed to benefit from earning interest or riba because interest charges would deepen the debt burden. Specifically, to prevent serious indebtedness, Islam prohibits interest-bearing loan and advocate responsible lending. As Jabir bin Abdullah narrated, I went to the Prophet while he was in mosque. After the Prophet told me to pray 2 rakaat, he repaid me the debt he owed me and gave me an extra amount. Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith shows that the Prophet also took loan in his lifetime and repaid the debt, including more than the principal amount borrowed. Another hadith was narrated by Abu Hurairah that the Messenger of Allah borrowed a young camel from a man, and then the man came to get his camel back. The Prophet asked his companion to repay him. They looked for a camel of the same age but found nothing, but a camel 1 year older. Then the Prophet told them to give it to him and say, the best among you is he who pay his debt in the most handsome manner. Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith has proven that the Prophet repaid his debt with more than the principal amount he owed to show his gratitude. In short, interest-bearing loans are prohibited, but making an additional principal payment is considered good practice. Debt in Islamic law is a complex concept with various traditions providing different perspectives. Some hadith emphasize the seriousness of debt and warns against it, highlighting that even acts of bravery and righteousness may not absolve one of their debt obligation. Unpaid debt is seen as a disqualifier for admission to paradise. On the other hand, there are traditions that support the acquisition of debt, as long as the borrower intends to repay it. In summary, Islamic law permits debt under the condition that the borrower intends to repay, has the ability to do so, and the loan does not originate from prohibited sources.
Among the roles debt plays in Islam, it has the potential to increase individual needs and fulfill essential requirements. In the article titled Investigating Easy Availability of Debts in the Islamic Banking Market by Muhammad Firdaus, Muhammad Hatta, and Mawil Izzuddin, the authors delve into the issue of debt in the Islamic banking market from the supply side. They assert that debt can make it significantly easier for individuals to meet their basic needs, encompassing a wide range of necessities, including education. For instance, students from low-income families can avail themselves of education loans such as PTPTN to pursue further education. Moreover, debt can facilitate the purchase of vehicles such as cars and motorcycles to enhance transportation capabilities. However, it is crucial to critically evaluate this claim. Other studies suggest that many individuals resort to loans primarily for their personal satisfaction rather than to fulfill their genuine basic needs. We can see that there's a lot of people who still making loans for cars and motorcycles even though they already have the existing one. This kind of behavior, conflicting perspective, contradicts the teaching of Islam concerning about debt. Furthermore, debt's role in Islam can also be perceived as a means to decrease poverty and alleviate wealth disparity. The aforementioned authors state that one of the reasons for the easy availability of consumer debt in the market is the perception that debt ensures a fair and equitable distribution of wealth among various societal groups. Although the discussion might a bit be debatable, but it is still worth to be discussed. Moreover, it can be viewed as a step towards addressing poverty, as it provides the opportunity for the economically disadvantaged individuals to grow their wealth through accessible debt option in the market. This stands in contrast to conventional banking systems, where the centralization of bank credit is controlled predominantly by the affluent. In Islam, debt also can be served as a mechanism to empower the less fortunate and create a more balanced economic landscape for the unfortunate group. To conclude our previous discussion, we also can view the role of debt in Islamic economics as a mechanism to improve individual needs and fulfilling their basic requirements, while at the same time it also can decrease poverty and alleviate wealth disparity. Debts also can be seen as an angelic mechanism to solve basic economic issues such as poverty, but the discussion still remains in the theoretical part. It is only being propagated as a wise way to increase economic lifestyle by the lenders, which some of them exploiting the debtor. In reality, we can see debt has affected many people, including their socio-economic lifestyle across many generations.
Debt plays an important role in the Islamic economy. It is considered an economic tool in Muslim societies that can be used to promote economic activity to assist the poor and support charitable causes. Firstly, debt must be lawful and legitimate in an Islamic economy. The Qur'an and the Sunnah, the two texts of Islam, provide important guidelines for Muslims in their economic fulfillment by requiring borrowers and lenders to abide by the rules laid down by Islam. Secondly, debt can be used to promote economic activity and development in an Islamic economy. Lending is an important form of financing that can help businesses and individuals obtain the necessary funds to expand their business, purchase assets, or innovate. Islamic economy encourages the pursuit of knowledge and labor and considers wealth a blessing, but at the same time teaches prudence in the handling of wealth and avoidance of extravagance and waste. By using debt, Muslim societies are better able to achieve economic growth and development and create more jobs and prosperity for the society. Thirdly, debt can also be used to assist the poor in an Islamic economy, which places special emphasis on charity and social responsibility. Debt can be used to help those in poverty, for example, by providing interest-free or low-interest loans to disadvantaged groups who do not have access to conventional bank loans to support them in starting their own businesses or improving their livelihoods. The fourth debt in
Charity is also used in the Islamic economy to support charitable causes. Charity is a virtue encouraged by Islam. Islamic societies are actively engaged in charitable activities to help the needy. Debt can be an effective form of financing to support the operations of charitable organizations and the implementation of projects. By means of charitable debt, Muslim societies are able to better meet the needs of the society and provide better help and support to the disadvantaged.
In conclusion, debt or loan should only be undertaken in the case of necessity or emergency. In Islamic economic principle, debt is considered a contractual obligation that should be fulfilled with sincerity and as promptly as possible. The rules in Islam and Sharia principle as taken from the Qur'an and Hadith guide Muslims how to make, save and borrow money in a socially responsible manner. In fact, the Prophet Mohamed set a prime example by personally ensuring the repayment of his debt, demonstrating the importance of maintaining financial integrity and honoring commitments in Islamic finance. As it seems in this era, debt plays a vital role in the Islamic economy, serving as a means of financial intermediation and facilitating economic activities while adhering to the principles of Sharia law. With that, Islamic finance promotes the concept of debt as a tool for wealth distribution, risk sharing, and promoting economic justice. It even emphasizes the prohibition of interest or riba and encourages the ethical financial practices that are based on mutual cooperation and social responsibility. The significance of debt in the Islamic economy lies in its ability to promote economic growth, support entrepreneurship, and provide a framework for sustainable development. However, it is crucial to ensure transparency, accountability, and effective regulation in Islamic financial institutions to maintain the integrity and stability of the system. In the future, more research should be conducted on debt in Islam to help Muslims get a wider view and explore the in-depth of this matter. That's all from us. Thank you.